Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today I'm going to be playing one of the most overpowered hidden tanks inside the game that nobody really talks about. This is the Ki-Ho. It's a tier 4 Japanese light tank and it is outrageously overpowered for a number of reasons that I'm going to be showing you today. But there's something important that I want to talk about quickly first. And that is that today I'm going to be going live all day fundraising for cancer research and special effects. And so if you want to check out these two very worthy causes or even add something to them, I'll put a link in the description below. And this year I'm hoping that we can add to the already staggering $360,000 that we've raised over the last 11 years. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you all on stream right now, where hopefully we'll raise a good amount more. So the Ki-Ho is just giving players the most outrageous kinds of results. And nobody is really bothering to play this tank so much that I don't even think that Wargaming consider how crazy this vehicle is. At least until it gets hit by an HE shell from the BT-7 artillery there, where I nearly lose half of my hit points. This tank is overpowered for so many reasons. Firstly, it has 1,875 damage per minute at tier 4. That would be decent damage per minute all the way up until about tier 7, and it would be okay damage per minute on a tier 8 tank. And so that means that you can shred your opponents really quickly. Now, the penetration isn't that good with 87, but if you load the gold, you can still get 131mm of pen, which is more than enough for tier 4, even when you're getting in your worst kind of matchups. The tank is super flexible with 10 degrees of gun depression all around the vehicle, and because it's a light tank, it actually gets the class-based bonus, so it gets the same camo when it's moving as when it's stationary. And the base camo is 19.21, which is really excellent inside the game. So if you are absolutely really filthy and you get a good camo crew on this vehicle, as well as all of the other crew skills that will help you out, you are even really hard for your opponents to be able to see. You even have 5% camo while you're firing on this tank, and because not many people actually have decent view range at low tier, and that allows you to be able to pick apart your opponents easily without actually being seen in the first place. So all of these things just add up to the most outrageous kind of tank. It literally has statistics in all of the areas. The only thing that it isn't is it's not particularly fast for a light tank, but 50 kilometers an hour is very decent for a medium. And so I think that this tank is basically a very good tier 4 medium that is just inside the light tank class, giving it the advantage of having that camo rating when moving. So all of these things just add up to giving its players outrageous results, and it truly is one of the most overpowered hidden seal clubbers. Now, I didn't even really know about this vehicle until a couple months ago when people voted for it in the poll website, and then this is the kind of game and result that you're going to see coming from it. Usually I don't really play much World of Tanks below tier 8, sometimes playing 6s and 7s, but hardly ever below that unless there's a tech tree showcase or I'm doing poll tanks and people are voting for them. There's nothing wrong with playing low tier World of Tanks, especially if you need to play low tier because you're feeling uncomfortable in the game, you're just learning, or you never really got to grips with playing the higher tiers and the more advanced tactics that come with it. But I just don't find myself playing, so I was absolutely flabbergasted to see how powerful this tank is. The average win ratio in the last 30 days of players who have been playing this tank is 51.89. However, the average win ratio that they have been getting is 57.31. Accordingly, this means that if you play a game in the Ki-Ho, that unless you're awful and you somehow manage to bring down the average and all of the stats that this is giving to its players, you're getting 5.42 average better win ratio in this tank. It's just absolutely flabbergasting what this thing is able to achieve. So far in this game, 700 damage, pretty decent for a tier 4 vehicle, and a couple of kills. However, my team is down by 800 hit points, very significant towards the low tier, considering we have 2,200 and they got 3,000. But luckily, this Sahariano seems to have been caught out, and it doesn't take long for this vehicle to say sayonara to the Sahariano there, quickly ripping apart the tier 3 Japanese. Sorry, not Japanese, the Italian. Is that a premium tank or is it a reward tank? Was that thing in the loot boxes or was it given everyone for free? I don't even know. All of these little low tier tanks, they seem to just go into the game and nobody's, well, at least I'm not really focused on them. I'm focused on more of the high tier vehicles that are inside the loot boxes at this time. Although I will give a mention to, I think it's the RMT that went into the loot boxes. I think it's a tier 5 American premium tank from this year's loot boxes, and it's actually really crazy with its 15 degrees of gun depression, awful damage per minute, but it has an autoloader that kind of makes it feel more like a Cromwell at tier 5, although it does have a substantial reload afterwards. And oh man, this is not the best accuracy on this tank at .42, but when you got this rate of fire, it doesn't even matter. And just like that, we're now up to a top gun, and there's still 6 tanks left. Make that 5 tanks left on the enemy team. So my build on this vehicle, as you can see, is binoculars, vents, and a turbo. This allows me to get around, to be a little bit faster than the vehicle's base speed limit of 50 kilometers an hour. The vents will just make everything about this tank better, and the binoculars will allow me to spot. And that is the #1 tactic, really, at low tiers. People have got horrible view range. They don't use the right equipment. They don't use the right cruise skills, or they don't have access to cruise skills, which is understandable at low tier. Or they might even be packing 50% cruise in their tank, something that I hope that Wargaming will get rid of eventually inside the game. Seems a bit archaic and very brutal for all of the low tier players to have to suffer through. Okay, so I get spotted by a Stug, and that Stug actually has the badge for the completing the Murney Nightmare mode, so they can't be the worst of players here. I'm just taking some auto-aim shots at them. I'm hoping that I can get in. I got 7 kills, so I'm hoping that we can add maybe a couple more to the tally here, or possibly even manage to get all of them. So I'm trying to track this guy. I managed to miss the tracks multiple times, and quite often people at low tier, they don't even bother to use repair kits, but oh wait, this guy is. So we hit the tracks one more time, take them off, and oh dear. Well, I don't think you're using 2 repair kits on a tier 4 German tank destroyer, right, buddy? And oh god, this is just absolutely filthy. I'm gonna need a shower after this, ladies and gents, boys and girls. I don't think even the fact that hopefully we're gonna raise £10,000 for cancer research and hopefully £10,000 for special effect today is going to change the fact. I'm sitting behind this guy because he's not going to have gun depression over his butt, or at least I didn't think he would. Unfortunately, he still manages to get the shot in me. And now, hopefully, we're going to be able to finish off the Valentine with our HE shells, but oh no, we don't quite manage to get it. But I'm not sure if you can even get Pool's medal in a low-tier tank like this. But that was about as filthy as it gets. 9 kills, and it honestly just felt like cheating in a vehicle like this. And I think after a game like this, you're probably going to be calling me Cruella, because I think we've managed to take down enough puppies here to probably make a whole coat, showing exactly why the Keyhoe is one of the most dastardly hidden seal clubbers in World of Tanks. So an ace tanker here for our 1,337 elite experience. We don't get the Radley Walters medal for our 9 kills because they're too low tier, but we do get a high caliber for 2,500 damage dealt and a top gun for those 6 kills, and we managed to make profit even after firing some gold rounds as we were running low on ammunition. So all in all, the Keyhoe, it is very unsurprising that this tech tree tank is padding up its owner's win ratio more than any other Tech Tree Tier 4 tank. Although an honourable mention should be made to the Panzer 38 NA, which is also doing some filthy seal clubbing as well. So I guess when it comes down to it, if you can have a decent gun and enough view range at a tier where most players can't see you, and camera rating to be able to facilitate that process, compounded by the fact that often players who play these vehicles who aren't knowledgeable are going to do terrible in them, then that means some fat WN8, fat win ratio, at least for the morally dubious players who are willing to drop down to tier 4 to play filthy seal clubbing tanks like these. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And if you're watching this video as it goes live, I'd love for you to come and join the Twitch stream today, where we're going to be fundraising for cancer research and special effect. I also have exclusive drops. Massive thank you to Wargaming for that. So you can get some fat loot, including premium consumables, 5 times experience missions, and a premium day for just watching the stream, not supporting the fundraiser. Either way, if you're watching this video later, you can't make it today, I'll be leaving the fundraiser open for the rest of the year, so feel free to go. Find out more about cancer research, find out more about special effects and the amazing work that they do to help those with disabilities to still play the games that you and me take for granted, and why these two charities, at least in my opinion, deserve some attention, especially at this time of year. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.